Hey guys, Matt Allen here. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin. Today we are headed out on a cold, dreary day to do some winter bass fishing. Come along. First off, Merry Christmas Eve. Hopefully you guys get to spend the next couple of days, the holiday, with friends and family. If you don't, Tim and Tanya, Cece and I, we want you to know that we are very grateful that you are part of the Tactical family. Now, today what we're doing out here is hopefully power fishing. We've got a storm coming in, so we're probably gonna have some intermittent rain. It's about 20 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. When I got on the water yesterday, it was in the low 20s. Today's actually low 40s. It's cold, it's dreary, but it's much warmer than it's been. So I think there's a lot of potential for these fish to be up and to be aggressive. So we're throwing A-rigs, crankbaits, lipless, blade baits, small swim baits, you name it, we're going winter power fishing, and I think it's gonna be fun. Well, that's not the biggest bass, but it is a start. Throwing that non-bladed A-rig today. The water's a little bit cleaner, a little calmer. Going with the non-blade. A couple of winter tips for you guys. They don't really apply today because today I'm above freezing. But yesterday it was so cold, and there were some things that I did that made all the difference. A lot of guys don't want to go out in winter because of the hassle, because of the cold. But if you do these couple of simple things, your day will be so much easier. So a lot of times when you go out in winter, it is below freezing in the morning. As a result, it can get really frustrating. Three things. Number one, turn your boat power on the night before, but leave your boat plugged in so your batteries don't drain. Reason why is that if your boat is wet at all, it will freeze up in the morning and you won't be able to get into your locker lids to turn your power on. Same goes with your rods. Your rod lockers will freeze. So what I do is I rig the night before the handful of rods I plan to throw in the morning, and I stick them in my truck when it's time to go. Not in the boat. I don't put them on the deck of the boat because when I get there, all my reels will be frozen up and they'll be freezing to try and hold on to, and they're harder to warm up. If you leave them in your truck, they're not nearly as cold when you start fishing. Now, my baits are gonna be frozen in the boat, but I've got a set of rods that will get me going for the first hour, hour and a half until I can literally break into my tackle compartment. And then the last one is, before you leave the house, put your plug in. Whether it's a push-in style, whether it's a dial style like what we use, or whether it's a screw-in, When you're driving to the lake, if there's any water in your hole and it's dribbling out the back, it'll form a little pocket of ice. And when you get to the lake, you won't be able to put your plug in. I have fought that battle before. Little things make all the difference. If you do those things, turn your power on so you don't have to worry about fighting with it in the morning. Put your plug in, stick your rods in the truck. Half of your frustrations are gone. And you start your day on the right foot with rods ready to rock. And by the time you need a bait, your boat will be thawed out and you're all good. There we go. Fouled himself. Come here. Not the giant we're looking for, but we'll take anything that wants to bite. We got the skipjack, yep. Little skipjack herring on the cool baits on the BFS. Boy, does that zero power rod load up. My goodness. Oh, it's another skipjack. Get over here. You keep fooling me. I think I'm catching bass. You guys hear that? It's a bald eagle over on that point. That's the beauty of winter fishing. There's nobody out here. It's calm, it's quiet. That's the third bald eagle I've seen today, probably the 15th one this week. That one's talking. There we go. I don't know what it is lately. I can't get away from these things. It doesn't even matter which lake I go to, I'm catching skipjack. That's a big one there. Relax. I was popping it free of the grass when he bit. Uh-oh.
Whatever that is strong. On BFS gear. £7-pound fluoro and a 0 power rod. I don't know what we've got. Striper, drum, big bass, something. I think it's a bass. Everything just feels giant on BFS. Come here, buddy. Oh yeah, it's a nice bass. I have no control with a 0 power rod. Oh, that will do. That's the kicker we were looking for right there. That is the one we were looking for right there. That is awesome. That fish ate the cool baits 2.8 on that Corrado BFS. That Dobbins BFS rod, straight 7-pound line, 0 power rod. The fish felt like she was 14 pounds. That was awesome. I don't know if I've ever felt more out of control than trying to hang on to that fish. So this is, if you guys missed our BFS gear review, this is the Dobbins 700. That's a 7-foot 0 power. It's lighter than a Ned rig rod. It's lighter than a drop shot rod. Paired up to a bait caster capable of throwing just a couple of grams. This is actually far too powerful of a bait, of a rig for the rod, but obviously was able to plant that hook no problem, and then I was just along for the ride. Ooh, missed him. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. There's supposed to be some nasty weather coming in. I'm gonna make sure I'm on the trailer before that happens. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I wanna talk to you a little bit more about winter fishing. Bait-wise, I caught my fish on 2 things today. I tried 7 or 8 things, but I caught them on 2 things. This morning, those smaller fish, they came on the rig. I was throwing the rig without blades, but specifically I was throwing that 13 fishing churro swim bait. And I've talked about that a bunch, and we'll talk about it more as we get into the heart of winter. But that is a bait that kicks at super slow speed and in super cold water, better than a Kitech does when that water gets cold. So keep that in mind all through the winter. The other one that I caught them on was that cool baits with that 2.8 Kitech, and I just can't stress enough how wise it is to have a 2.8 Kitech in your boat at all times in the winter. Really year-round, but it is such a panic button bait when the day's not going the way you wanted. No, I thought I was going to catch a bunch of fish today. I liked my conditions. For whatever reason, the fish just shut down, lock-jawed. So I set down the rig, I set down the crank, picked up that little 2.8, just started creeping it around, in this case on BFS gear, which if you guys aren't familiar with BFS, I'll link that BFS buyer's guide we did so that you can get a feel for what this is. But despite being a bait caster, it is ultra light. But turning to that little 2.8 will get you bit when almost nothing else will. That's why it is my panic button. And in this case, not only did it get me bit, it got a giant bite. It got the kicker. And on this rod, I mean, that thing could have been that bass It could have been a 10-pound drum. It could have been a 20-pound striper. I had no idea. I had zero control. Winter fishing is amazing though, guys. I mean, look at this. This is Lake Chickamauga. You don't see a crowd. There's not 30 boats back here. That's what the winter is about. Getting out, relaxing, enjoying your time. I mean, sure, it's cold, but it's not that cold. Don't let that stop you. I mean, I'm dressed up like a Christmas tree and I'm still out here. It's not that cold. You can do it and you get all this peace, all this quiet, and the shot at a great big largemouth. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll talk to you soon. Merry Christmas.